Of conservatories from the East Coast. Thank you for being here with us today. Thank you. We'll be starting with the high school cadets, John Philip Souza. It's been reorchestrated and just dropped a half step by me. And may I follow that immediately with the Holst, or shall I wait? Okay, so we'll follow that immediately with the Holst suite.
Welcome. First on agenda today is high school cadets. Nice clean opening. Certainly in the first strain, lots of control over the crescendos. Nice piano control, major 21. Careful not to rush the 8 notes. Okay, now percussion, timpani, bass drum. Careful not to be too loud. This is a loud hall for percussion. You have a hard wall behind you. Makes the percussion more pronounced than normal. So make sure you stay as a support, not right out front with the sound. Careful this figure of dotted eighth. I'm sorry, dotted quarter and eighth. Don't turn into a lazy triplet. Dee ta dum. 1, 2, 3, dum ta dum ta dum. So make sure it doesn't slide into being a lazy triplet. Again, careful percussion. Very tight performance, okay. Can rearrange, I understand. So, but it seems to work with the group. They seem to be just fine with it. Good control over the dynamics. Good control, generally speaking, except for the percussion a little bit too loud. Make sure that we keep all those rhythms. Watch out for dotted eighths and quarters, not letting them slide into lazy triplets and so forth and so on. But everybody knew their parts. Everything went very well with that first performance. Okay, I believe there's a string bass that was played, or electric bass, with the opening. I understand with you having no bass and so forth why that might be done. However, it really changes the character of it because it's a resonance factor. There's a lot of first attack and then not as much resonant as there is with the wind instrument compared to electric guitar. So there'll be a little bit of a discrepancy in tone and resonance factor with the instruments. Again, the lower instruments have the main melody here. Good, low brass, we want to hear that cornet solo. Now that's a solo cornet and it's in the lower register of the instrument, so you can play that out just a little bit more because there's a number of instruments playing with you at that time. So the solo dynamics can be played more strongly than ensemble dynamics. This little chamber music section makes sure all the lines are equal and everybody gets a chance to be heard. Watch those E naturals, alto sax, tricky notes. And notice many of the performers work on extending the line and not cutting the phrases off too short, which is fine. Okay, now this is a slow soft section, but we need to keep the melody a little more strongly into the front, going to the back of the hall. Long passage here, it takes a lot of air, lots of control. Not too loud, too soon percussion. Be a support. You don't want to get too loud too soon, then you kind of negate the intensity of the crescendo. Watch those high octaves there, upper woodwinds, and let around letter S. To hear more on the quarter notes. The quarter notes are the ones that are moving the melody forward. Not so much on the white notes, but more on the quarter notes. Very good. Going right into the second movement. That's what it should be done. Not much of a break between those. Careful not to rush clarinet. Diddle 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 diddle. I want to hear all of those four quarter notes, 4/16 notes. Don't rush when it gets loud. This is before letter B. little more style on the solo. More snap on the 16th and a little shorter. A little more articulated, and it'll make the line more interesting. Not quite so legato, a little more dance-like with a stronger articulation. Lots of busy work going on here. It's always important to keep the melody at the front. I could generally just hear the first cornet part a little more strongly generally throughout this movement. Try not to toss that high note to the winds quite so much. Dee da 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 da. Try to incorporate it into the line. Dee da 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 dee da. Pull it into the phrase instead of just kind of tossing it off to the winds like that. So it's part of the phrase rather than it seems like a note all by itself. Again, careful not to rush 16th notes there with winds. One of the best endings in wind music ever. That's such a great thing. It's so hard to do. Nice work. Need to hear that more cornet. It should be also, they shouldn't be legato or slurred, they should be tongue. So English is music here, long, flowing statements, so, really countryside of England, green and lush and full, resonant sounds, which you try to achieve here. Some nice trombone work right back there. Again, dance like very light woodwind, very much color change from what had happened before. Ideas, English marches, English countryside, English chorales and so forth, all the folk dances and folk tunes and so forth come together in this last moment. Great, great piece. It's easy to get too loud too soon and get too carried away. Keep it all in control because they have a whole another long section coming up. intonation and so forth. The students played with a lot of energy, a lot of pizzazz, and a lot of integrity. You'd be quite proud of them. They did a nice job, and all the players should be congratulated on kind of overcoming whatever difficulties that might be inherent within the instrumentation of the group. Anyway, not a whole lot of things to say. With better instrumentation and so forth, I think that it would have obviously been a little better and more to everybody's taste, but with this instrumentation and the changes, it seemed to work very well, and the students enjoyed it, and the students presented a very honest performance of it. Some very fine individual playing within the group like that. I'd like to hear a little bit more of the first cornet. I can't see from where I am. I think there's only one, but basically a little bit more cornet sound. That's English kind of small band, English military band sound that Holst wrote this music for. Flutes and clarinets did a very nice job. Intonation was generally pretty well throughout. With one trombone, we certainly upheld his end. The euphoniums did a nice job, and the tuba did a nice job. Percussion did a nice job as well. Sometimes it got a little too aggressive as far as sound projection, but other than that, it went very, very well. So congratulations. Again, I don't need to talk about a whole lot of details. Your conductor will tell you the kind of things that he would like to hear more of. Again, connecting phrases. Making sure the dynamics are correctly balanced. And
you look older than the rest of them, so I think that if you're the director, congratulations.
Okay, so watch your dynamics, watch your balance within 2D sections and so forth. Watch the ends of phrases. Be careful not to rush faster passages, particularly at the ends of phrases. And don't don't rush the faster section. And all in all, a very nice job. Thank you very much for coming today. I hope you enjoy your time here, and keep up the playing.